This makes the Boston Celtics unstoppable, as we saw fans clawing out, asking what were the Celtics going to do in response for losing in the second half to Oklahoma City Thunder, and they responded with key players in this starting lineup making impact plays throughout this game to win the Celtics this victory versus the Denver Nuggets while they were shorthanded, while the Denver Nuggets were also shorthanded to get a nice 3-1 victory on this Western Conference road trip. We're going to be breaking down and looking at all of this and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love and support over on the channel, which has been super appreciative, and let us know your thoughts down below on this big win tonight from the Celtics. But without further ado, let's dive into the video at hand and make sure to grab a snack. But like I said in the introduction, this was absolutely huge as the Celtics bounced back, obviously, from losing this late second half collapse versus the Thunder on Sunday and are able to finish out this road trip 3-1 on a nice steady front. And after beating Timberwolves and Houston Rockets in that back-to-back, the Celtics are able to then bounce back after that Thunder loss and finish up against the Denver Nuggets against four pretty tough opponents in the West. But as we saw from the Celtics tonight, they went out and beat the Denver Nuggets 118 to 106. And what we saw from this team was some solid defense and some solid shooting. The Celtics did struggle from the shooting percentage. They were able to outshoot the Denver Nuggets, but did not outshoot them from 3-point range. The Celtics struggled in three-pointer range throughout this game, but late in the fourth were able to come up clutch. They were able to out-rebound the Nuggets, and they were able to outscore them in the paint as well, which is something the Celtics have been doing against some of these teams. And for the Nuggets, they were without their key best player in Nikola Jokic, while the Celtics were without Derrick White and Jordan Walsh due to illness. And all three of these players arrived on the late game day-to-day with the illness. Jokic at the point where he arrived to the facility and then was taken out with the illness. Derrick White and Jordan Walsh scratched in the early afternoon. But like I mentioned, with this Celtics team, we saw some big performances for players that make this team unstoppable. And like I mentioned, those players were necessary as followed. Kristaps Porziņģis was huge tonight in this Celtics victory. Starting off early, working in the post, being that MVP for this team offensively and defensively. Not only getting dunks on people, but blocking shots as well. Rim stuffing DeAndre Jordan in that second half and being a vital piece for the Celtics' success tonight. We saw Kristaps Porziņģis have some flakiness, and we also saw him get hit in his royal region as well early on, which was kind of funny, which was a little bit scary as well. But, like I mentioned, Kristaps Porziņģis playing at this level makes Celtics fans appreciate how valuable he truly is to the Celtics team as an interior post player, as a rim protector, and as that third scorer when a player like Derrick White is out. We also saw a player in Jayson Tatum really deliver for the Celtics team offensively and defensively, making tough shots, going to the rack, but also hitting some clutch threes late in the fourth quarter with the Celtics still struggling tonight from three-point range. He came through and delivered. Jaylen Brown had a little bit of a questionable game. No shot attempts till 10 minutes in. No points until the last minute of the second quarter when he got them from free throws after going 0 for 4 to start off the game. But Jaylen Brown was a fantastic defender and fantastic facilitator in setting up this offense and really setting up some of these players tonight for this Boston Celtics team to get them open opportunities. Like I mentioned, no Derrick White in today's game, so we did see the insertion of Al Horford into this starting lineup, and he got early on for the Celtics, hitting some big-time threes. And Jrue Holiday, like I mentioned, made impactful plays for the Celtics tonight, offensively and defensively, getting some big-time steals, being that ultra-uber defensive guard with Derrick White being out, but also cashing in for some big-time threes. Defensively, and looking at the bench for this Celtics team, we saw Sam Hauser get a big-time block, but also hit some big-time threes throughout the game for the Celtics, and he didn't look like he had a big game on the stat sheet, but is looking to get in that rhythm for the Celtics here. Luke Kornet and Neemish Queta tonight both were very impactful bigs for the Boston Celtics interior. Neemish Queta had a little bit of a slow stint for the Celtics in his first run, but in that second quarter was able to bounce back, getting into rhythm, getting, I believe, 6 points in rapid succession, and being very effective for the Celtics team as a alley-oop threat coming coming out of the pick and roll. Unfortunately, Peyton Pritchard, another quiet one after having 0 points tonight, only made one shot tonight. But look to him to bounce back in some needed performances. And Jaden Springer was given a call a little bit tonight for the Celtics. Not really made as an effective player tonight. Was brought in early on in the first quarter to play some defense, but didn't get that opportunity to really showcase his skill set. Now, if we want to look for the Denver Nuggets here, when looking at their players, obviously, Russell Westbrook was absolutely shooting lights out. He came out of nowhere. Jamal Murray was playing good. Christian Braun was playing good. And Julian Strawther was also a solid connector and defender for this Nuggets team. But like I mentioned, this Celtics team is unstoppable when they have players like Kristaps Porziņģis, like Jrue Holiday, and like Jayson Tatum really playing at this level for the Celtics. Without having players like Derrick White, without having players like Jordan Walsh, even though Jordan Walsh isn't a main defensive piece for this team, I think he would have been a viable piece for the Celtics off the bench tonight. He provides some size, he provides some defense, and this Nuggets team is very, very centric on running a lot of defensive wings. Guys like Peyton Watson, guys like Julian Strawther, guys like Aaron Gordon, who was unfortunately out tonight. But I felt like if the Celtics had a guy like Jordan Walsh, he could have matched up against some of those guys, combated with them, and been another 3-and-D type of wing for the Celtics to guard up against some of those guys on the perimeter, which would have been more effective. But also with that, Derrick White being one of the more valuable Celtics this season, a guy that I believe should be an all-star, even if he doesn't get there, because the depth in the Eastern Conference is so tight in making the All-Star awards. His stats provide that he should be an All-Star, and he's playing like one with his ability to be a shot blocker, to be catch and shoot beast, to be that clutch scorer for the Boston Celtics. And with him being out tonight, having guys like Kristaps Porziņģis and Jrue Holiday really step up matters. I saw a tweet. I want to give a shout out to Joe Mazzulla on Twitter, but Owen O'Connor for the lead. He brought out a tweet. I did not get it in here, but he mentioned Jrue Holiday's stats over the last couple games in points, and Jrue Holiday has been really, really impactful for this Celtics team over the last couple games, getting double-digit points, I believe, in the last 5 or 6 games he has played for the Celtics, and that has been key for this team when their offense has gone cold and has had some spurts over the last 10 to 12 games where they have looked shaky through the months of December and going into January. Like I said, we have seen this team get into a little bit of a hot front in the recent year, kind of turning over the calendar. But in the last couple games, we've seen them struggle from 3. Even in this Nuggets game, we saw them shooting at 27% at some points throughout the game, not until late into the fourth quarter, where when the Celtics really started to click with Sam Hauser and Jayson Tatum really hitting those threes. But like I mentioned, Jayson Tatum as well, stepping up and delivering when Jaylen Brown was out with that shoulder injury, was really playing like that MVP player like for the Celtics. And even tonight, really took over and took control alongside Kristaps Porziņģis as those two creators. When Jaylen Brown isn't having that great of a night offensively, or isn't getting that priority offensively because guys like KP and JT are going off, he's going to take that facilitation, going to take that defensive role, and that also shows his selflessness in the Celtics rotation as well. And that's one key thing about the Celtics team as well. What makes them so unstoppable is the selflessness that this team truly has as a core. We all know top to bottom that this team sacrifices and rolls, from Al Horford to Jrue Holiday to Kristaps Porziņģis to Derrick White to even Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown to Peyton Pritchard to Sam Hauser. Top to bottom, this team sacrifices for the benefit of winning a championship. All of these players could have better roles in better circumstances if they necessarily wanted to, making more money and being bigger stars, but they choose to win as a unit, and that's what is key about this Celtics team and truly makes them unstoppable when you look at it as a core. When fully healthy, when this team is fully put together, they are a beast. And without Nikola Jokic, with Nikola Jokic, the Celtics team, I believe, if they had Derrick White and had Jordan Walsh, would have been able to make this immediate impact that they made on the Denver Nuggets tonight when they have guys like Kristaps Porziņģis and Jrue Holiday playing to this level. Obviously, playing through Porziņģis, going through into the low post with Nikola Jokic, scoring into the paint, going against them and the Thunder, attacking the paint without Chet Holmgren and without Nikola Jokic is the key smart move for the Celtics. But we will see that three-point shot coming back. We will see that three-point development still coming through. But it was nice to see the Celtics come up clutch, come up late, hit those big-time threes as well from big shot-time creators like Sam Hauser, like Jayson Tatum, like Jrue Holiday. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, what you guys ultimately think about this Celtics win and how you guys feel about this big-time W in, obviously, the Denver tonight. It was a late one. Obviously, if you are watching the video at the time that this video is going up, I appreciate you staying up late for the Celtics taking on a late game in Mile High City. But let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. You guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love and support, which has been truly, truly appreciative. So thank you guys so much. Like I said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your night, and peace out.